Hello and welcome to another edition of Isolation Inspiration. We are back and today we're with a great cause and it's the Liberty Foodbank, and we have the amazing Jan Royal from there who's going to tell us all about it. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't even know the food bank existed. So I thought it was really important that we got Jan on, talked about the cause, found out how we could help. So Jan, first of all, welcome. Thanks for coming on the show and taking the time.
Oh, thank you so much, Ken, for inviting me. Really appreciate that you really want to help us. Thank you.
100% we do. Now, first of all, can we start with the obvious? Can you tell us where you are? And I'll flag up a little map for everybody and when you're open.
Okay, so we are on Norbury Crescent. So it's 1A Norbury Crescent. We're literally just round the corner from Barclays Bank. It's kind of tucked away. Not a lot of people know that we're there, but we are there. There's a massive banner on the outside telling you how to give to the food bank and support. We are open every single Wednesday. We kick off at 11 a.m. and we wind up at 1 p.m. And we've got lots of volunteers who's helping us with that. So that's really great.
Yeah, let's just flag up a quick map there. If you can see that arrow on screen, the little finder there, that's exactly where they are. So Jen, can we talk about when it began and why it was started? Because I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, so obviously everybody's been affected by COVID-19. So back in March 2020, we had lots of families within our church that was on furlough, low income, lots of issues, being at home with the children, supporting them, etc. And originally, it wasn't really my idea about the food bank. It was actually my senior pastor, the Reverend Dr. Kerr. He's also a qualified chef. And he said, look, Jan, we need to respond to the community and to people who need help. Yeah. And he just came up with the idea. He said, look, I'm going to start cooking. So we got our food license from Croydon Council, got all the protocols in place. He rolled his sleeves up, and he got cooking. We got a team together. We got drivers together. Fantastic cook, fantastic chef. Food was absolutely wonderful. And he just got going with that. So over the period between March 2020 to around October, November time, we had cooked up 4,500 meals, sent them out to the community with our drivers. They were dropping food on people's doorsteps that were in need. So from there, we realized it was not only food they needed in that respect, but people needed ongoing support. So we started the food bank originally back in May 2020, alongside where we were preparing the meals. The first few weeks, we only had 4 or 5 people that came along. And after that, it just snowballed. We used an app called Olio, which is an app where people who's got sort of surplus food available, they can pick it up from different places. We used it to get people into the food bank. After about a month, we didn't need the app. People just word of mouth. We got on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor, another good way to tell them what we're doing. So, it all cascaded from there. So since then, it's just been hard work, but it's been really worthwhile.
And how many people come through your doors every week, Jan?
Okay, so recently we've done a survey over the last 2 weeks, and we have a number of 170 people we are supporting every single week. That's adults and children. And we also support various organizations. Croydon Hospital, they have a department there where people have no recourse to public funds. Some of them are homeless, have nowhere to live, and they need support. We've also supported St. Christopher Hospice, where people, again, don't have enough funds, and their workers will actually come to our food bank and pick up supplies for them. So it's quite a wide range of people that we have, elderly, lots of young children that also need supporting. We have one lady, she has 13 children. Every week she collects a bag from us, and we try and make sure that there's something nice in there for the children as well to make it special. So yeah, the numbers are really getting bigger and bigger all the time.
Yeah, it's quite shocking to think of children. For some reason, that's a shock to me, children, the amount of children. I don't know why. I always think of needy in terms of food poverty as being more likely to be elderly, but it didn't occur to me children, and that just makes it more heartrending, really.
Definitely, definitely. They also need a lot of support over half term. So that's why we're collecting some extra supplies now, so we can make sure that they are fed and have some little extras as well for them.
Yeah. And how are you funded, Jan?
Okay, so I'll be honest with you, mainly it's via our church. Our senior pastor is very much for community involvement and making sure that the food bank is funded. So we get lots of food supplies from Fair Share, the Felix Project, surplus, food at various shops. However, it just doesn't make ends meet. So our pastor will fund it from the congregates who give every single week. So on average, we used to spend about £150 a week on shopping to top it up. Now we're exceeding £250 a week just to top it up, because obviously we've had lots of problems with supply problems, with getting tin items. So we have to actually buy those in. So, he said, Jan, I don't care how much it costs. We need to do this. So
that's amazing.
That's really good.
Amazing. And I know your background is in helping anyway, because you're a registered nurse, I believe. So it probably comes quite natural to you as well. And obviously to the pastor, it's part of his nature too. But it's lovely to hear. And I'm sure you've got lots more volunteers that take part in it behind the scenes as well.
Definitely. We have a big team of volunteers, probably about 12 or 14 volunteers, and we're going to recruit more soon. Yeah.
Now, how can people donate to the food bank?
Okay, you can donate to the food bank outside our church. I think on that information you just showed us, Ken, on that poster, we have some yellow bins, some big yellow bins. They're outside Liberty Church. You can see them. There they are, right there. You can actually donate inside those bins. We're talking about non-perishable items in those bins, not anything that's going to go off.
Yeah. Can you be specific, Jen, so people know what to give? What do you need?
Okay. So we need tin items. We need, what we're short of at the moment is tins of tuna, sardines, tins of meat, chicken curry. That's one of their favorites, chicken curry in a tin. Anything in a tin, it could be vegetables, or just a mixture really, but we're short of the tin fish items, sardines, tuna, that sort of thing. Really goes down really well. Tins of soup, vegetable, chicken, anything that basically is in a tin, that's what we're normally short of. And milk. We have a short supply of milk at the moment. We had a problem getting some in. So my pastor's gone down to a massive shop just to get some supply of milk in for today. So long life milk again is something that we really need.
Do you always manage to meet the needs of those that approach you, or are you often finding that by the end of the day you've run out? How does that happen, or have you always managed to?
We haven't run out yet. No.
We've
invested. Our pastor's invested in. We've got these 2 massive trolleys, and we fill them to maximum capacity normally. And we have reservations. Outside we have a nice sturdy shed, and we keep extra supplies in there. So we tend not to run out. We do proper stock control every single week, and we work on average how much we're giving out. So I've got a rough idea what we need week by week and what we need to stock up on.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've become kind of, in some ways, perhaps the social workers as well, a little bit by the sounds of it, because of the other needs that come with people that have food poverty. And it's nice to hear that. And it's also nice to hear that you're hooking up with one of my other favorite local charities, Cassandra Learning Centre. I'm sure you guys, your powerhouses together, you'll do a lot.
Yes. So so it's not just food people need. We've had lots of issues where people have come in. A few weeks ago, they were quite tearful, obviously, with the changes in the universal tax credit, the £20 being withdrawn. We had very tearful people. We had to take them aside because they were worried about they can't make ends meet. We've had people that haven't had time to grieve. So lots of bereavement counselling in regards to some people hadn't chance to say goodbye to some of their loved ones. And not only do we support them that way with food, but we also have what we call a pastoral care team. We have an eye care team at our church, and we're beginning to see what we can do in the community. So we have a bereavement service where we have qualified counsellors in bereavement and other things that we are also trying to raise a profile in the community, so people will get the support they need. We've also got a benefit advice worker who works at Croydon Council. She goes to our church, and she's been taking some of the referrals for us and directly from the food bank, and supporting some of those people as well.
Yeah. Now tell me about your plans for Christmas.
Oh, wow. I'm really excited about this. So, yes, we have some wonderful plans for Christmas. So, last Christmas, we got a hamper together. And it was everything that you would put on the table on Christmas Day. We managed to negotiate with a local Lidl, and we ordered 150 chickens and everything for the table. We had a table decoration, lots of food in the bag. That was 105 hampers we actually sent out to the community last year. This year, we want to double it. We want to make sure that everybody coming to our food bank gets a hamper, as well as within the community itself. So there might be other people that are quite vulnerable. We also want to dedicate some of the hampers to Cassandra Learning Centre and also to Pathways. They're a local organisation that supports homeless young men, and we've been working with them for the last 2 or 3 months. And again, they've been helping us, especially with some of the homeless people that's been coming to the food bank who's got not go anywhere to live. They've actually helped us to kind of get them into somewhere. So, we're hoping to do great things with that. So, we want to double it to 200 hampers, and we're looking for support in the community with help. And we're just about to shout for some help, on our various social media pages.
Which is why we're here today. So you can see the link below, guys. We are fundraising and we're helping Jan raise £3,000. That's the figure we need, £3,000. How can you help? Well, there are a number of ways you can help us. Number one is just by liking, commenting and sharing this video, whatever channel you're watching on, because the more people we can reach, the more opportunity we have to actually advertise and perhaps people will donate. If you do have spare funds, and we appreciate that it's hard times, not everyone will. And if you can't afford to, don't feel guilty, but at least share the page. That costs you nothing. But if you can afford, then please do donate. We really would be grateful. We'll certainly be assisting and donating, and we'll be making sure the message gets out there to all of our clients, because whilst this has been a terrible time, the pandemic, for many, it's also been quite a successful time for many executives, Jan. And I think that it's easy to be busy in your own little world and not realize that there's extreme poverty around you, and I think that's what you've alluded to today. And here we are in an area where it's very easy to go grab your cost to get on the train, go to work, and perhaps not realize that there are people that need your help right now. And a small contribution for a local small charity like yourselves goes such a long way, doesn't it, Jan?
It does, and it'd be really, really great to have people to support us. We just want to make Christmas a bit nicer for some people. Some people's been through so much great trauma, this year, last year. So even if we can just put a little smile on their face, it'd be wonderful.
Yeah, and I also think that, one of the things that you said to me, Jan, is because you have tie-ups with many commercially, it's actually better that they donate money in the case of the hampers than bits and pieces for the hamper, because you can get the discounts that they couldn't obtain. So by them buying something, they're paying more than you would pay. So it makes more sense for them to donate financially. And we'd ask you to do that via the link. And obviously, we'll be banging on about this until we're blue in the face to try and get this money through. Jan, when do we need to raise this money by? Because presumably there's going to be a cut-off. You need to have them prepared and ready for Christmas. So when's the cut-off?
So we're looking at the second week of November. So near enough 4 weeks from now, we need to get all the monies in, and then we can then start buying the various items in, start stocking them up. That's what I did last year, quite early. And then when the time arrives, then we're ready to go. We're ready to go.
That's great. And are you hooked up with any local schools as well, Jan?
Yeah, so we've had we've got a school in Morden, actually. One of our congregates actually goes to a school in Morden. We've been supporting the school there. She contacted us saying, look, they're dire straits. They had an organisation that was coming in that was actually giving food parcels to some of the parents in need, and they've just withdrawn. So she asked me so we've been supporting them in the last 6 months, just with food parcels once a month. So and then we've also had St. Philip's Church in Norbury did us a massive favour 2 weeks ago. They rang us and said, we want to donate the whole of our harvest to Liberty Foodbank. It was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And
they're a lovely bunch at St. Philip's. We've supported them for many years with sponsorship and bits and pieces, and we love St. Philip's. They're a great bunch. The other thing that's around the corner from you that you might want to consider, and I'll certainly link you up with, is Norbury Manor Business and Enterprise College, or now Norbury Manor School, the high school there for girls. A great bunch of people there, and I'm sure they'd love to hear about your cause. So that's something that perhaps we can link you up with to help.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ken. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on, Jan. And so if you are thinking about how you can help, I hope that's made it clear for you. But basically, we need your money. Come on, folks, help us out here. It would really, you've got to remember, think about the people that have literally nothing and aren't expecting this. You can help them to have a nice holiday period. It may not be Christmas for them. Maybe their religion is different. This is not about religion. This is about helping people in need at a time when the rest of us are celebrating and having a nice time. And I think sometimes, you know, we can be insular in looking at what we're doing and everything else. And for those of us that are working and are having a reasonable level of income, it doesn't cost a lot to just contribute a little bit to help these people. Jan? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on, and hopefully you can come back on when we review and see how much money we've got and talk to people again. But thank you so much for your time today. It's lovely to hear about what you're doing. I doff my cap to you and your pastor and all of your congregation that have done so well, and hopefully we can get you more support now.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Ken, for the opportunity today.
Thank you. Thanks for watching, guys. We're looking for your money.